It is tough times in the
Tough
in the
times
world.
never last.
Tough times never last. But please, make sure you keep it clean. Seninje. Seninje. When peace lang ecathulo zampeka seninje. Yeah, so you must keep clean, please.
Show me.
When hello with the wrong shoes. Where?
Okay.
Please.
Okay, right.
I spoon my problems.
Spoon my
you know the crazy thing is, right? And I think for me, the weirdest thing is like I've been doing research about this COVID-19 thing, right? And it's like I think the government or people need to inform more about what's happening. You know what I mean? Like people don't know. It's like just wash your hands. Because you just walk up on Twitter, people are like, just wash your hands, and then what happens after? But I think someone needs to educate us more to tell us, hey guys, by doing 1, 2, 3, you know what I mean?
Do you know what I think it is? I think the difficult part is which platforms do you use to get the right people? Because, as for instance, yes, fine, there's social media, so we're all aware of it because we're just like, China shut down, Spain shut down, Italy shut down. Yeah. But the man on the ground is the person I'm worried about, specifically because I can relate back to when we had Cyril's speech where he actually announced that no more events, no more what. I had to broadcast that during my show on radio. And immediately when I was done with the radio show and I walk out and I said to the security guards, hey, we're going on lockdown. They were like, what are you talking about? They didn't even know that the speech was happening and I was broadcasting it in the building they were working in. So my problem is, how are they communicating to the people who are not on social media, the people who are taking public transport, the people in the hood who are more vulnerable to this disease than the rest of us who have the information? Do you know what I mean? And I think the tricky part also about that is that, you know, typically you'll go to like a clinic and they'll say and they'll have all these posters and they say, hey, make sure you use condomize, you must do this, you must do that. Nobody wants to read those things because it's boring. So we need to have more like entertaining ways to kind of send out the information that people are actually going to pay attention to. And it's just nobody wants to read a flyer.
It's just going to get hectic. I mean, there's 202 cases that they...
220.
And
it's 220 now.
I think I saw something 220.
In my personal opinion, that's not even half of what's actually going on in this country. So
because there's probably still a backlog of people getting tested.
Yeah.
Right? And like I had a scare. You know, and I told you guys, right? Yeah. But everything was all good. But I declared it with you guys, like, guys, let's go shoot because of the safety, because I love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vigi.
Thanks, Vig.
But for me, it's like, you know, I was having a conversation with Dimples, and it's like, and it's crazy, we're saying that, like, how China has been prepared, you know what I mean? Because we're like, go to the SARS. And it's like, there's also, it's a family of this virus. It's SARS, it's flu, it's...
Yeah. They prepare because they bring these things.
So you think they made it?
No, it's through animals. Okay. All of this is through animals, and I don't know if you saw the story about the market. So basically, the virus. No, the virus came from a market where that market is like known for literally like, I don't know if you've seen, there's a video that's gone viral where they're literally like cooking a dog that's still alive.
Oh man!
So that market is known for like always cooking or frying or doing whatever to certain animals, and it just happens to be that one of the animals was infected, of which it got infected by a bat, I think.
Yeah.
And that's how it spread. So they always prepared because that shit comes from there always.
Yeah, it's tricky, and there's so many conspiracy theories that's going around about like, hey, maybe they created this thing because the hospital came up and now they're on lockdown. Now everything's back to normal, but now they're buying shares back in the world and everything is plummeting.
The positive thing about this is that I think like all of us in life just needed to, you know, kind of take a step back. I mean, I speak for myself where I actually needed this break, you know, just to sort of get into a new zone, get into the next chapter of our life. Because I mean, it's a new...
It's nice to relax. But I think it's also one of those things where we're starting to look back and saying, are we actually looking after our hygiene as much as we thought we were? Yeah, but then this thing is also just now spiraling into deeper things, because obviously it's affecting our more poorer communities because they won't have access to proper healthcare. Hand sanitizers are going for like expensive prices these days, whereas this thing that I bought was actually quite cheap when I got it at the time. So I worry about people like that who are actually forced to work because yes, we're on lockdown, people are told not to go to work, but then there's some people who can't afford not to go to work. They have to.
Public transport system, number one. Because
you know what I mean?
Can you imagine how many people in Soweto alone probably take taxis to go to Johannesburg town? Do you understand? So it takes one person to probably infect everything there.
Yeah.
I cut it all over and we touch and we hug and we all
Right,
you know what I mean? So I think it's one of those things that I think the government needs to start helping us and try to plan way ahead if this thing comes back, because it will come back again.
Yes. Yeah, it definitely will come back again. And I think what's also making us struggle the most is that with the complete shutdown, us as artists are also getting affected heavily. And I think it's not even...
You're an artist, Nani?
I'm a DJ. I can't go to a mass gathering.
I was just asking, Nani. I wasn't attacking. So, like, the fact that you look at your DJing as an art, that's dope to me. That's because you said as an artist.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was just making sure that they know that you consider yourself an artist.
I definitely consider myself an artist. I consider myself as somebody who is providing entertainment.
Sure.
And with that, it makes it difficult for us to work, because if you can't go to gatherings of 100 people, club's not going to open for 100 people.
And the
Do you know
alcohol,
what I mean? The alcohol, bottle stores are closing at 1 o'clock, so you better wake up at 9 if you want to get your stash. But
some of us have 3 employees.
You know what I mean? So we also have employees.
So how okay, coming back to that, right? Sorry, I'm going to ask a lot of questions, guys. So from you moving on forward, Speedy, what are you working around? Because I saw the president of France they actually initialized something where they're saying, cool, we will contribute towards small businesses and their employees in this current time. So for me, it's like, what is our people doing? What is arts and culture department? What are they doing for us? You know what I mean? So for me, even for you as small businesses, what for me, because like clearly you have to stand alone. So so whatever you saved, you have to probably
use that.
And I can't at the end, I have to pay. Everyone has to be paid. I can't rent. Everything must be paid.
Everything has to be paid, which is the unfortunate part.
Everything must be paid.
Because a lot of artists are working hand to mouth, and it's very difficult because even if you are saving a portion of your income, it's not enough to sustain you for 3 months.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Number one. Number two, we all have employees or people to pay. Even if they're not direct employees, you've got retainers that you've kind of kept with certain people that you're working with. So that's the difficulty as well. And
you know what we haven't highlighted? Do you think out of 100 artists, how many of those are on medical aid?
I am. I've been on medical aid since I was 20.
I've been on medical aid my whole life.
Okay,
yeah,
right?
but like...
No, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
So is it a matter of now, we need to start forming these unions, or, well, arts and culture needs to go speak to a Discover and just say, guys, you need to help out our people out here as well. You know
There's basically WhatsApp group.
There's a lot that needs
WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp group.
There's a lot that needs to be fixed. And in a situation like this, that's why these things are happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot, obviously, that needs to be fixed, but expecting our artists with the little, which is a lot, but it's still little compared to the duties and responsibilities they have, to still think about having their medical aid, it's just a tough ask. I don't think all of them have it. You know, and more especially for me.
You must have a hospital plan at least.
I got you. More especially for me, I don't want to use the platform to do that, because the younger artists I feel like are gonna suffer the most out of this.
Even the older,
you know. Yeah. Of course, even older, but they are older. They had the time. They should know better by now. The younger artists is who I'm thinking about, and I'm like, fuck, you know. There was a lot of energy coming in. And I guess this is happening at an opportune time because it's going to make everybody refocus why they were doing what they were doing. And also, just being away from work, everybody not playing, people are going to have to redefine themselves, what they're here for, and what are they offering? Do you know what I'm saying? And also making you appreciate what you are doing. If all of this happens and we don't come out, we want to change every circumstance outside of ourselves. We've learned that doesn't work. So this shit, for me personally, has really re-emphasized the self-work, you know, and really why are you in this shit? Do you appreciate your position in this shit?
Yeah.
You know? And what are you going to offer when all this is said and done? Because the situations, I promise you, when things get back to normal again, everybody is going to there'll be very few people that have reset or recharged or refocused. Everyone, after everything gets back to normal, it's human nature. Everyone's just going to go back to normal.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is not asking the circumstances and the situations to change. I'm asking myself, how am I going to come out of this a different human being, because this is a different situation altogether.
Definitely.
You know, and personally, I know this is gonna sound shit, but allow me personally, I'm very happy this shit is happening. Like, I've been the type of person that has found it very difficult to maneuver in these days and times, and the things I've been crying and asking for, I feel like are now starting to take place, even if it's a measure of extreme that's making them take place. But I'm really fucking happy that it wasn't a woke speech or a tweet or something on an interview, that it was real life situations that go, yo, like, we need to appreciate ourselves, we need to appreciate each other, you know what I mean? And appreciate what you put on this earth for.
Yeah.
And as far as like, everything else goes, I'm really sorry for everyone.
I'm enjoying chilling at home.
Yeah.
I love chilling at home.
Yeah.
For me, spending time with the family, which is important there. But also at the same time, it's kind of seeing what people are being. It's opening people up to be creative.
Yeah.
Right now, I've seen people are doing that party,
Online
party type of thing. You saw what Swahili did with the fan.
Yes.
Like it's like, oh shit! Now we're coming with this old dog concepts, but moving forward. This is where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is where
Definitely.
we're supposed to, like, cool, everything is going to move digital with us.
Yes.
Right? And now this is a good time for brands to jump on, you know what I mean, and support us by some sort of ways, you know what I mean?
In terms of like
Please,
nature,
we need it.
in nature, guys, the most incredible things are happening. Like in China, because there's not so much pollution, because everybody's staying home, birds have returned. The cloud of smoke that's over the city has gone. In Venice, in that canal where there's water.
Oh, it's clear. I saw that,
It's
right?
clear, yeah? Because of the smoke and the carbon monoxide formed by the boats, the animals couldn't be there. The sea creatures couldn't be. Dolphins were seen and fishes. And this, for me and the way I look at things and what I'm into.
It's a reset, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like God just woke up and says,
Exactly.
Relax.
Exactly. And it will pass.
Yeah.
It will pass.
Yeah, of course.
You know, does it pass with you prepared? Because we're facing another 10 years of some really crazy times.
Yeah.
Or is the scoop, is it to a point of, as a whole, as a country now, we need to start to be forward thinking, where even those older ones need to start thinking, well, maybe it's time for me to let the younger people come in power because they are more innovative. And
I don't care. I don't
That
care.
one.
I don't care about
think it's never gonna happen,
I don't
That
care,
one,
VG. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about asking someone in power, inverted commas, whatever power that is perceived to be, to ask them for something anymore. Before this, I never cared. Moreover, now, what I care about is me and the things that I love.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
These are the things that I care about.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed the football.
Yeah.
The NBA, I miss it too.
At the end of the day, that's what it's
bored.
making us appreciate. It's making us appreciate
The little things.
It's making us appreciate the things that we need to take care of.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, our health, our hygiene, our animals, our life, our livelihood. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have trees, if we don't have birds, if we don't have all of these things that are supposed to be part of the world, then how are we going to continue?
We were living in a world where so much was, you felt so good, so dope about having things that were man-made. Cars, jewelry, houses.
We all lived.
And the real thing is things that aren't man-made.
Yeah.
Air, trees, you know? And like, damn, I'm happy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards, but fuck.
Well,
Yo,
as you
shout
said,
outs.
but as I said, as an individual scoop, right? You will walk out saying, "Hey guys, me moving on forward. This is how I want to change my life."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
I think for me, I know that for I've been teaching my kids.
But in order to also maintain that, I think the important thing is that people still need to be able to have the right information as to how to maintain it. Because as much as China has become clearer, it's because they literally went on lockdown and everyone said, what? Okay, I'm staying home. I'm making sure I'm washing my hands. I'm making sure I walk out with a mask. If I have to go to the shops, I'm making sure that I keep hand sanitizer on me. I make sure that I don't well, if I have a slight cough, I need to go and get it tested. And those are the little things that people need to kind of make sure. There was a voice note that was also kind of circulating on some of the WhatsApp groups about making sure that your hygiene is clean. If you do leave the house, sometimes the virus does kind of attach itself to clothes. Make sure that you get home and you change your clothes, put it in the wash, even take a shower if you have to. Small things like that, which are going to help you to remove the disease from spreading, so that we can have the animals and the trees and the dolphins and the
I'm like, I understand that as a inverted commas third world country, that we might have problems in conveying the message to people on the ground. But I must commend the fact that at least attempting to stop us from going out and drinking.
Yes.
That was like, it's something that looks very like minuscule and small, but it is dope. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of South Africans are like, you know, like, they're taking us lightly, but I can guarantee you it's for our benefit.
Yes.
You know? So shout out.
We love to drink, eh? South Africa.
Yeah, we've got too many issues not to.
But the thing is, I was about to say, it's issues. You don't know how people
have issues in this country.
Right?
We've got post-traumatic stress that hasn't been dealt with
for how many years?
For a long time ago. You know, we've never heard, and I'm sorry. We're going to another topic now.
And you won't even hear that I'm sorry.
We'll never.
But outside of the I'm sorry, like you're mentioning, the fact that it's allowing us to actually stay home and say, okay, fine, I've got 2 hours to go to the liquor store, buy our stuff and go home. It's also because people sometimes, like, there's a lot of situations that happen in a social place or when alcohol is involved, which is possibly why we've been told we can't be out until 6 p.m., 1 p.m. or whatever. People aren't thinking about it that way. Yes, it's a rule, but it's also one of those rules that's going to save us. Especially, for instance, like last year where we had the conversation around gender-based violence. A lot of the situations came out of social areas.
Alcohol,
so also all of those things, it's spreading the virus because we are together.
There's going to be lots of babies.
Can I also just say something that's
everyone is in quarantine.
Something that's been interesting that I've been checking out when I'm researching what's happening around the world and the conclusions that people are reaching about the virus and why it's affecting European and American and first world countries, should I say, at a more rapid pace than it is us on this continent especially. And it was crazy, you know, the fact that 5G has a big part to play in the way this shit affects the place that it's at.
Okay.
I'm always on the conspiracies.
I know you, my nigga. I know you, my nigga.
I'm always on the conspiracies. You know, I'm always on the conspiracies. So, like, and then again, whether true or not, what I took from it was, you know, sometimes as a third world country, we long so much to keep up with the Joneses and the Kardashians, the Europes and the Americas. And we don't realize,
everything
unknowingly to us, that these things come with some sort of side effects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those side effects right now are basically what might be affecting the whole world. Because on the real, we kind of nice out here. We're not good, but we are kind of nice.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody for staying at home.
Yes, shout out to that.
And watching.
But from an economical perspective, obviously going back to the arts and speaking to some of the artists as well, there have been some viral messages that have been going out on social media. I know Euphonic had put out a little bit of I think it was an Insta story or IGTV or whatever. Slicker also made one as well. Basically saying
Slicker's one.
Slicker's one was also pretty dope. Basically saying, if you are in the entertainment space and maybe you are in a space where you can't make money, make sure that you have the conversations with your financial institutions. If you're speaking to some of your creditors, you have to pay rent, you have to pay insurances, you have to pay all these things. Speak to them and say, listen, this is my nature of my business. Look at my track record. I've been paying my bills. Right now, I can't because I can't work. Please, negotiate. Because if you speak up early, they'll give you a chance. The moment you keep quiet and then you default, that's when it becomes a problem. Yeah. So make sure you kind of sort that out and try and get that information up front, especially because we are in a time where artists can't make money. So, stay ahead of the curve at the end of the day,
Stay safe, kids.
Shut out. So I think, obviously, I'm glad that some artists are reaching out and educating or, kind of putting in for the mass reach, But at the end of the day, man, I still do feel that our government needs to do something to help us.
Definitely. I know there is a bailout for the small business entities. So the SMMEs are getting a small bailout, but I think that's for the manufacturing sector of small business.